shadow in the government's game. Pawn as a child with no face and no name. They stole my past to leave me cold and alone. Always searching for a place that could go home. I was lost in the dark, just a tool in the hand, till she pulled me close and helped me understand. Now the fire inside is starting to rise. I can see the truth through 1,000 lies. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. In the dead of the night, I can hear the call. All the ghosts of my past scratching through the wall. My eyes change colors, the power has grown. With Crowley the hound, I'm never alone. I used to be hollow, a man made of glass, but now I am reclaiming every year that has passed. Every memory is falling right back into place. I know every name and I remember every face. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's a magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hell on beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I ain't running no more, yeah, I'm ready to fight. Gonna settle that debt in the depth of the night. They tried to break me, they tried to erase, but they can't hide the blood from the scars on my face. The veil is thin and the engine is hot. I'm taking back everything that they thought I forgot. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I remember it all now. Every single face, I'm calling for you in the dead of the night.
Hello, everybody. My name's Henry. Tonight I'm going to talk a little about some missions. I won't give no specifics, places, names, but some missions done while night walking. Now, for you, those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, night walking is not sleepwalking. Night walking is when you leave your body behind and you go perform tasks. I was born like that. That was something that was added into that milkshake that become me. It just comes natural. Still do it today. So, anyway, I wanted to clarify that it's not sleepwalking. Sleepwalking is when you get up and you walk around your house or do stuff while you're sleeping, but you're in your body. Night walking is totally different. Your body stays there, your spirit leaves, goes to perform a task. In the projects, when they started learning about my abilities, they started using my abilities. How can we use that for a weapon? How can we capitalize on that? What can we use that for? Well, when it in the project, when they first started having me do things, it started out small things. they'd tell me what they wanted done. Like, they wouldn't tell a person down the hallway or upstairs, and they'd tell me that, hey, tonight when you go to sleep, here's the task. Come out of your room. The chain will be undone from your wrist, or we'll leave the key and you can unlock it. Come out of your room, turn left. Go down the long hallway, make the turn to the right. Take the elevator down one level. Come out of the elevator. Straight across the hallway, there's a little, like an office. Go in there, start throwing stuff around, act like a ghost. Don't speak, toss things around, open drawers, scare the hell out of that son of a bitch. Okay. If you don't do as we ask, we will reschedule the test for a few days. Why a few days? Because you don't do what you're told. We're going to take a few days to just torture the shit out of you. Back in the water tank. In the cage, lower you down. That was just one test they could do to you, one type of thing. Or they could shock you, beat you. But anyway, I did as they asked. Come out of my room, unlock the key from my wrist, come out of the room, turn to the left, down the hallway, turned, went into the elevator. I went one floor below. Now, when I'm doing this, you'll never see me. Can I speak when I'm doing this? Yeah, if I choose to. And you would hear me just like I'm actually there, but my body is not there. My spirit is. Well, I went into the office like they told me. I opened the door, walked in, shut the door. That poor son of a bitch, he looked up, because he seen that door open. He thought, expect somebody to come in. And I did. He just didn't see me. I shut the door. He went from looking at it bug-eyed looking to thinking about running. So I started picking stuff up, tossing it in the air. I even went over there and moved his chair. He went all the way around the desk to get away from that chair. He couldn't see what was moving it. Well, then, to make things more interesting, while he's staring at that chair going across the room, because I shoved it, I went over there and turned the light off. This dude, he screamed like his ass was on fire and his head was catching. He was trying everything in the world to get out of that room, find the door. You gotta understand, it's underground. There ain't no windows. When the lights go out, it's pitch black. That poor son of a bitch about tore that room apart, trying to get out of there, and I kept throwing things. He got out of the room all right and hauled ass. He was a screaming, messing himself. I come back out, went over and hit the button, went into the elevator, went back up. Got out, went down the hallway, made my turn, went down, went back in my room. Put the chain with the little wrist holder on, locked it, back to sleep. Now you're probably thinking, if you escaped your body, why would you have to undo the chain? That was just part of the test. They wanted to see what I was capable of doing. I didn't need that unlocked. I could have took off anytime I wanted to. But it was just a test to see if I was paying attention and that I would follow orders to the detail. I did. Next morning they come in and wheel on this table. It had a videotape in there and TV. They said, "What do you remember about last night?" I said, "I've done exactly what you said." Scared the shit out of that poor guy. They said, "We had to let him go." "What do you mean you had to let him go? You guys didn't off him, did you?" No, nothing like that. He wanted to go someplace else because he said that office was haunted down there and he wasn't working where it was haunted. We didn't tell him no different. We just put out his transfer papers and sent him on. Now, whether they really sent him on or deep sixed him, I don't know. I never found out. They put that tape in, and I'm watching because they have these cameras up all over the place. I watched my door come open. Then the next camera caught it. The elevator opened. The elevator shuts. It goes down one floor. The next camera catches the door opening. Then the camera on the other side of the room catches the door opening where he's at, and the door shut. When that poor bastard come out of there, his hair went from dark brown to snow white. And yes, there was a stream of water going right out of his pant leg onto the floor. He pissed himself. When he got so far away from the camera, you could see the whole backside of his jeans were just soaked. I thought it was funny. It's a weird sense of humor, but I thought it was funny. I didn't harm him. Things like that didn't come till later. Well, then the next test would be something mundane, something easy, but just kind of stupid, but they was wanting to check every avenue to see what this could be best used for. If you go down there and scare the shit out of somebody and throw stuff around, now, here's the new test. We're going to send you down to the lab where you was kept, where you was hatched, incubated, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Instead of going into the exact room you went into, you're going to go into the other door. You're going to open up the cage, take one of the rabbits out, take it down the hallway, open up this door and put that rabbit in there, and then grab the notepad in there and go put it in the rabbit cage. Okay? Well, sometimes things go just slightly off. Well, I went back to sleep, come out of my body, did exactly what they said. Took the rabbit out, put him into one room, grabbed the notepad, went and put it back in the cage. Well, here's where things went a little sideways. In this state, something else entered my mind. and I acted on it, which they thought was funny, but it did kind of piss them off because I didn't do exactly what they said. Well, I went back to my room, like I was told, but I didn't go back into my body. I was in my room, sitting there. They come in to check on me. They seen that I was still chained, so they set me a soda and a snack. Well, decided to have a little fun. When he set that down, I went behind him, opened the door, hit him with the door, pulled the door shut, caused it to go locked. I thought that was funny as hell. They did too. But now, I'm roaming the hallways. They can't see me. That's what scared them. They didn't count on that. But they figured it was something they needed to know. So after a little bit, I unlocked the door and let him out. That poor fucker. He was running around like Ray Charles in a room he'd never been in. He's like a mime. He was, I guess, trying to film me in the air. Like, dude, air is air. Whether it's hot air, cold air, warm air. You ain't gonna feel me. I went, opened up the door, went into my room. Back into my body. Jesus Christ. They come in there, woke me up, laughing. I already knew what happened. Laughing. But still a little pissed off because I didn't follow exact orders. They told me they weren't going to torture me for it because it was something they was curious about. What if he don't go to his body? What are we going to do then? How are we going to find him? So now they had a new problem to figure out. How to find Henry if he decides to go rogue. Hurt one of us or tear the fuck out of the place. Well, that was a good dilemma. They found a solution, all right. Next night, they sent me out again. Told me, it said, as long as you complete the task, you can roam the level you're on anywhere you want to go. As if they could stop me. So I thought. So I did. I completed the task. And I went snooping. Well, there was one door I always wanted to look behind. So I headed there. Obviously, it wasn't a place they wanted me to see because I got a real sharp pain and I hit the floor like a pile of cow shit. But they still couldn't see me, couldn't touch me. But they heard the plop. And then over the intercom, wherever you are, you best return immediately. And I was thinking to myself, and what if I don't? Well, they showed me. They shocked my body. Put me on my fucking knees. I started heading back to my room. The closer I got, the less pain I would get. Until I got back in my body. So they learned how to control me that way, through pain. because I was still attached to that body. So by causing pain to that body, I still felt it no matter where I was at. It's like having an umbilical cord. You can still feel if somebody was touching your body, but not your spirit. Which, they use that to their full advantage. Every fucking chance they got. Well, after quite a while, it got to where they thought they could trust me. I didn't like pain. I still don't like pain. I can take a lot more pain than most of you. But I still don't like it. There was no love affair between me and pain, me and bees, and me and snakes. None. They decided one night they would have two people with me that had these cameras. They told me I could night walk out of my body, and with these two people, they'd take me topside, and my job was going to be walk the grounds and see if I see any looky-loos. If so, they was going to let me scare the holy shit out of them to get them the hell out of there so they'd quit nosing. Because periodically there would be looky-loos that would come out there to the base and go under the fence or over the fence snooping, because they heard stories. Well, that night, I had a ball. I was out there most of the fucking night, scaring young kids. They figured the place was haunted. Maybe that'd keep their ass away from there. When it was over with, they told me to return back to the two guards and speak to them, and then follow them back to my room, my holding cell. So, I was going to have some fun with that. When I returned to where these two people are, I come up behind them real quiet and said, "Reporting for duty." You ever heard of a fear fart? Both of them did. It was like a double barrel ass fart. Poor fucker about jumped out of their skin. I thought it was funny. I was just glad that the breeze was blowing away from me instead of toward me, because I might have passed out, according to what they had. If they had tacos, I'd have been dead meat right there. They take me back to my holding cell. Well, I walked with them back to the holding cell. Got back in my body. They woke me up, make sure I was in there. Because when you're gone like that, it's like a corpse laying there. It's a body without a spirit. A corpse. An empty meat suit. These other people brought my soda, my snack, and told me to go on and go back to sleep. They turned the light on, the little nightlight thing there on the wall, shut the door. I heard a big clang, the lock on it. That damn lock had to be so goddamn stout, it probably could have withstood a freaking bomb blast. Hopefully, if there was a bomb, it was on the outside in the hallway and not in there where I was at. There had been pieces of Henry stretched out all the way from Long Island plumb to California. Wouldn't that have been something? They'd have thought, that's the biggest shit splatter you ever seen. Well, truth's true, you know. So then, later on, they decided to send me on a mission. Well, that's fine. They had me go to sleep, leave my body, go get in the chair, and I waited, and the countdown started. And I could hear the machines starting up, the computer starting up. It was generating power. And this is no kidding. Those cables were so big, hooked to that chair and into my head and that helmet, you could hear that damn snake running the line. You could hear it coming. It was a buzzing noise, real loud buzzing noise, but you could hear it. And when it hit that chair, if you wasn't strapped in, it would have blowed you out of that chair. Well, the mission was, they's gonna go send me to the place where this golden horse statue was. They wanted me to grab something tangible and bring back. Just to make sure I went there, bring something back. Okay, like what kind of something? Anything. Anything around the statue. Don't leave the statue. So I did. I come back with a handful of moss and soil. But they were still trying to figure out how they could track me, because the tracking device they put in my chest stayed with the body. So that became a new dilemma. It was like Pandora's box. They had Pandora's box and they wasn't sure what all that fucking thing was capable of. But one test would lead to another, to another, to another. Once you open it up, it just keeps going. There's no ends to the test they're going to run. Well, eventually, I ended up in the military. And because these doctors, scientists were also tied up with the military, they were bed buddies. I thought I was getting away from the project, getting into service where I'd be safe. You ever heard the expression, jumping out of a skillet because it's hot in that skillet, only to find out you landed in the fire? That's what that was. They used me in some of the missions were night walking. They would send me someplace ahead of a strike, and I would get targets ready. So they could do like an airstrike or a strike from a ship, a submarine, targeted stuff for them. So when they locked on, then it would lock on, like if I painted the target, it would lock onto that and take that missile straight there. Whether it be from an aircraft carrier, any ship, submarine, anything. That was just some types of missions. Other missions was I'd go with a group of special ops people, which I was involved with. I'd be night walking. They would let me go into the room first, earlier that day. And I'd be in there killing time, waiting until they decided to arrive. When they decided to arrive and go balls to the wall, which means kick the door in and start shooting, I was already on the inside. I was the inside guy. Nobody could see me. The first one that went for a weapon to shoot the special ops guys coming in, I'd kill him. By whatever means. If it means picking up an ink pen and stabbing somebody, so be it. If it meant grabbing a pair of scissors, so be it. Grabbing a weapon that somebody laid on their desk and shooting the fucker before he shot those guys coming in, so be it. It was a way of getting a drop before they killed some of the guys I knew. Now, they all may have suspected, but they never asked. And you're probably thinking, well, didn't you talk to them? No. I just followed them back, hitched a ride back. They had no clue. So that's how that worked. Only the big brass knew, the commanders knew. I was usually debriefed separately, briefed separately. And yes, there was times that I would go as myself, not night walking, and shit would hit the fan. Shit would just go upside down and sideways. I'd tell those guys I was with, hey, I've been doing things a lot longer than you. Not calling you guys chicken shit, because they weren't. They were all shooters and looters. Damn good bunch of guys. You guys, do you remember that valley we come through? Yep. Okay. I'm gonna stall these fuckers and play with them. You guys get up there and get ready. I'll mud suck their ass right into the hole and you fuckers shoot them. They're gonna be hot on my ass, so drop your cock and kill those fuckers. I don't want them to pop a new asshole in my forehead. We got it. They'd take off one way, I'd create a diversion, and they'd all do what I said. They'd head for the ravine. I'd lay down in a spot I knew I wouldn't be found, go to sleep, and I'd start mind fucking them. Then go back to my body and take off like a bat out of hell, trying not to get my ass shot. Get back to that ravine and mud suck their ass in there. Let my guys clean house. They always wondered, and they never asked, but I could tell by the way they looked at me, why I never got killed. I had a lot more going for me than what they ever knew. Anyway, there was other missions. Sometimes I'd go to sleep. We'd been in a hostile area. I'd be where nobody could ever have found me, sound asleep. When the firefight would start, I'd walk out in the middle of the street, get in a vehicle, start it, and drive it. When these foreign countries, they see something like that, they just know that the devil has come for supper. I don't think just because they're scared they ain't gonna be shooting at that car, because they are. But you can't shoot a spirit. I'm telling you for a fact. To make it really look good, You act like you're dead at the wheel and crash that fucking car. And they all happy. They think they killed a spirit. They think they killed the devil himself. And while they're running, oh Allah, get out and pretend to dust yourself off. Walk back to your body and climb back in, just like you're climbing in a convertible. Freak them poor third world country fuckers out. I mind fuck them bastards all the time. Sometimes a couple times a day if I could. But I'll tell you what, I had a little fun sometimes. Whether it be a ship we was catching or whatever. Go find a place, go to sleep, climb out, and go down to the mess hall. Reach in the fruit basket and pick up a fucking apple. Because I was night walking, all they seen was that fucking apple floating. Watching people screaming, hollering, throwing pans. So it had its good points and it had its bad. Now, with gifts like these, you don't just go overboard and beyond, because you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. But you could always have fun with it, pick up an apple and it looks like it's floating across the fucking room. Or walk up behind somebody and take their hat and push it where the bill falls down. Or they reach for their soda and you just reach over and grab it and move it just out of reach. Stuff like that. But with these comes responsibility. I mean, I had fun with it. But there are certain things, if you got any kind of dignity to you at all, you just don't do. Like walk into a women's shower room. It's not cool. I know what you guys are thinking. What are you, queer? No, I'm not queer. There's just certain things you don't do. It's called being responsible. I had fun with it, but not shit like that. And there was a lot of other things. We were sitting in the mess hall one time. And one of my gifts was making things move. Watch one of them fucking admirals sitting over there at the table. Over there in no man's land. All of a sudden, that poor fucker reached for the salt. And I'd look at it and move it. And the son he knew, he'd look straight at me. And as he'd watch me, he'd reach for the salt again and I'd do it again. God damn, I get my attitude. But it was fun. What is he going to do? He'd be afraid of what I'd do to him next. But he did chew my ass, They put me on stern duty one night. Had to go pull guard duty out there in the friggin' dark. I had a lot of fun with that. I'd go out there and lay down, go to sleep, come out of my body and sit there and wait for somebody to open up that door and come out there on the fantail. Pick up a rag and throw at them. God damn, they'd about tear that door off the hinge trying to get back in there. They'd send somebody out. I'd get back in my body and they'd be like, did you throw a fucking towel? Yeah, they wasn't supposed to be out there anyway. Well, they said they didn't see nobody. Well, I can help because they're fucking blind. Keep your ass off my fantail. I'm back here pulling guard duty. Would you get in trouble? Yeah. I didn't consider it trouble, though. Why? I was out there where it was peaceful and quiet. Nobody would fuck with me, except for people trying to sneak out there to get a piece of ass. But, that's how it goes. Well, I just wanted to explain to you a little bit about night walking and some of the odds and end things I'd done with it in the military and in these projects. Yes, in the project, they did send me to screw with people, screw with their minds, or do worse to them. But I was made to do it. I didn't do it because I wanted to. They made me. It's either that or torture me or or worse. Pain and fear is a good motivator, and them fuckers was good at all of them. So you either did what you was told, or suffer the consequences. Their consequences could be pretty fucking steep. So I learned to obey, and I did have fun with it, but I did learn pretty much to obey. Well, I'll catch you on the next one. I just want to kind of tell you that one there. I know it's kind of short, but my dog's got a piss. So I'll take him out, and when I get back, I'll do another video, and I'll catch you then. If you want to stick around. If you like what I said, give me a thumbs up. Say something to me. Leave a message. Hopefully you don't flip me the bird. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will be back shortly to do another show. It'll be a ghost story show. Hopefully I'll see you over there. This is Henry saying ciao for now because my dog got it tied in 3 knots. He got to go. He's been threatening to piss on me if I don't take him out. So I'll catch you in a little bit. Thank you for watching.